What's up, team? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back at it on the Hooligan Honda. If you tuned in to the last episode, we did our $15 Team of the Seat cover. We threw some fresh grips on her. Previous episodes, changed out the carburetor. So it's running, but it's not moving, which is going to come right down to that bad chicken right there, the clutch. We got new clutch plates, we got fresh oil, and we got new clutch springs. So let's get after it. Guys, if you didn't see the first part of this, we bought this three-wheeler out of a field. It's been sitting in a farmer's field for years. He said since they outlawed them three-wheelers in the 80s, and everybody was just giving to them for free. And that's where it sat. The carburetor was pretty junk on it, so we put a cheapy Amazon carb on it. And the exhaust is falling off, so I'm going to put this long-winded bolt in here to get that to stay on there. And we threw a fresh spark plug in it. We pulled the old corroded air filter off it, and lo and behold, it fires up and runs. But it doesn't move, which would be helpful. It would be nice, right? $17 millimeter drain plug in a container that's probably not big enough to catch all the oil, but let's try. Let's give it a shot. So normally I would say, oh, that's not that bad, but I legit just changed this oil. I mean, it's run in and out of the garage a couple times, just slipping so bad. We're going to keep an eye on this because this container is probably going to fill up before we get it all emptied out. Close enough. Tighten the drain plug now so that I don't forget it, and then I'm going to move that jug of oil out from underneath this three-wheeler before I drop every single bolt in it. All right, I'm gonna go grab a Phillips screwdriver, although I know none of these are gonna come loose with just a regular Phillips, but let's give it a shot. All right, we have a few different options. Trusty Rusty, the old Craftsman. The actual snap-on, not just the knockoff Harbor Freighter. And a Klein Tools. And let's just see which one of these fits the slot the best. I'm guessing the Klein. It seems to work best with these Honda fittings. Oh my goodness. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. I cannot believe that just came loose. Okay. Somebody's been in here before us, guys. These are like finger tight. I didn't think these were coming off at all. And now they're all basically just falling off. Ooh, except for that one was a little snug. Okay. Sorry, my gorilla hands are in the way, but you're not missing much. I'm taking out Phillips heads. This is going to be our most performance-oriented machine. So we got to get a good clutch in there. I'm going to take the opportunity to put these back in the starter housing. Starter on this three-wheeler doesn't work anyways because it's an electrical nightmare. But so far, some of these screws are a different size. And I don't want to have more of them to try and figure out than I have to, if that makes any sense. Guys, I thought for sure we were going to get an impact out, and get the Dremel, and start cutting the heads off of these. And I'm so pleasantly surprised right now. Okay. These back two actually are 8mm hex heads. So I'm going to grab an 8mm. We're going to get this thing right off. I'm guessing why this one got given to our farmer friend. It's probably because the clutch was out in it. Somebody pulled it apart and couldn't adjust it anymore, so they gave it away. By the way, I got the clutch plates online. I'll add a link in the description. I want to say 20 bucks. Could be wrong. I got the clutch springs. They were like $12. I'm an idiot. I did not get a case gasket for it. So hopefully this one doesn't rip apart, and if it does, it's getting some RVT around it and we're throwing it back together. So got a little more oil. Oh, we got like one corner of the gasket that's stuck. Oh, darn it. Oh, jam it. It ripped. All right, well, I guess she's getting the old RVT treatment. Okay. This is the unit that we need to get off. And apart. So here's the cool thing about doing these videos for you guys. I'm learning. I've never taken one of these apart. So I'm learning a lot. And also, it uses as a reference to go back and see how to put all of this stuff back together again. So it looks like this piece that was inside the case probably sits on there just like that. I'm guessing that's probably your adjustment. Put that back in there. There's a little spring around it. Take this little guy off. And guys, I would recommend this to you. Take photos or videos of everything as you're pulling it apart so that you have your own reference guide on how this stuff goes. Okay. In here is our clutch pack. So we need to pull these loose. Guys, I guess I got Superman strength today. I know I shouldn't say anything until I get all these out, but feeling real good about this. I feel like that plate should come off of there. If you guys know me, you also know I always recommend that you get a genuine Honda book so that you know what you're doing. I don't have a Honda book for one of these. This is unheard of. Guys, go find some Klein screwdrivers. Klein, if you want to sponsor me, you're making the best screwdrivers I've ever seen. Somebody at home is probably watching this going, oh man, don't take those screws out. Oops. So whatever clutch springs I got are clearly not the right ones because they're like this big. They look like a traditional style clutch spring. From a manual clutch Honda ATV. Not from this little guy. I think this has to come off. All right, well, time to check out the Googler, figure out what the heck we're doing here. Okay. Small screwdriver, focus, focus. Haha, small screwdriver. According to the online book, there's a little gasket behind this, which I don't have. But we're going to pop this off and see if we can get to the nut that's inside there. And we tore another gasket. Okay. Oh, bummer. I'll get you guys in there, but this is not a nut that we're going to have a socket for. All right, you guys can probably see that, right? So that is a special kind of nut. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to get that out. You can see where somebody else has beat it with a screwdriver, which might be what we are resorting to. Stand by. All right, guys, like I said, we don't have the special guy wrench for this, but I do have a headlamp and a screwdriver and a hammer, which is what the last guy did. I'm sure of it because the nut is already all beat up. So you take your big screwdriver, you put it on one ear of that nut, you take your hammer, you start tapping it around. Once you get it broke loose, the nut should come off. There's our nut. There's also a little locking ring. Okay. We have some snap rings as well that hold all these clutch plates in, and they are totally destroyed. Let's go put this thing on the bench, see what we can do. Okay guys, we got it on the bench. It's hard to tell because everything's just black, but there's a snap ring that goes around this edge that holds that in. Now you might be able to see it. Poof. I've never seen friction plates this bad before. Let me grab the new ones so you can see the difference. Bad news. Really, really bad news. Send me the wrong friction plates. These are what I got, but you can at least see what they're supposed to look like. These are no good. No bueno. Dang, that's a bummer. Let there be light. I don't know, maybe these are the steels and these are what's left of the frictions. Okay, if these are the frictions, I'm even more okay. These are supposed to be the steels. These are supposed to be the frictions. There's, I'll grab a rag and wipe this off. There's no friction material left. These are just straight steel. That is why this machine will not move anywhere at all. Very rarely do I ever replace the steels. You usually just don't have to. But these are so bad that we might have to. That's everything. That's... Oh, there. Okay. That's cool. These need to soak in oil at the very least overnight. So we're going to put them in a Ziploc bag. We're going to fill it full of oil. We're going to let these soak. This is all going in the hydrostatic parts washer, and we will get a new tube of RVT silicone to seal it all up for tomorrow. Guys, I'm impressed it moved at all. Oh, there's just chunks of friction material stuck in there. Okay, this is all going in the parts washer. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll be back. And through the power of the internet and the magic of technology, it'll seem like no time at all. All right, team. Parts are out of the parts washer. Clutch frictions have been soaking overnight in some oil. Let's get this thing put back together. I went back and reviewed my video. I have my big clumsy gorilla hands in here, so it's hard to tell which plates came out from where. So right here, I will put up an exploded view that I got off of Partzilla, so you guys can pause and reference it, or go to partzilla.com, look up your machine. They have exploded views for all your parts. Let's get this camera back up on the stand, and you guys can watch me put it back together. Okay, guys, we have all of our springs around the outside edge. 2 of your springs are shorter. They should go directly across from each other, and then your 4 longer springs will run over here. We are going to do a friction plate to start with. Try and get some of the excess oil off. These line up on that inner hub groove. Next up, we're going to do
one of our steels. That's not right. All right, guys, you have springs all around the outside edge. 2 of them are shorter than the others. Go ahead and pull the 2 shorter ones off. We're going to start with a friction plate, fresh out of the oil. We're then going to do our steel. This first steel, the dowels that you pulled the springs off of, line your holes up on those and your slots up on the dowels that still have springs. You put your short springs back on. So they should be riding on top of that steel plate. And we're going to do another friction. Wipe the excess oil off. Your next steel, all the outside ears, none of them are fully closed. So they will go around all of the springs. Your next is a friction. And I'm going to seal this up so I don't get oil all over my bench. And then lastly, you will do a steel that has all of the ears are closed so it sets on top of the springs. Okay, the next really tricky part is compressing all of this down and getting your snap ring back in. It was easy before because none of our friction plates had any material on them, so everything was a lot smaller. So it's going to be a little bit harder now. It's probably going to take a couple shots, but let's give it a shot. Well, now I'm thinking we should have left these screws in the whole time. Might have made the whole operation easier to take apart. See, guys, we're learning together, team. All right, that one bottomed out, and these exterior springs look way better. I don't see a reason why we needed to take those out. I couldn't figure out how to get this hub off, and I really needed to take these 2 out and pull that center nut. So we'll go back and make a correction in the video that says do not take those out. Okay, the hub. The first friction. The first steel. The springs. Friction. Steel. friction. Steel. We did it. Because it should really go in pretty easy. All right, we're in. Let's go put it on the bike. All right, guys, we're back over at the bike. We can start reassembly of our clutch system. All right. Next, we have our special little lock washer. I really need my headlamp again. The prongs on that actually point backwards towards the engine, so make sure you have that in there right and it locks into those prongs. Then we have our special little nut. This is all right-hand thread. If you're like me, you don't have the right wrench, you're going to use a screwdriver and hammer. Because that's the proper torque, about 3 schmacky wackies. I think that's good. It's about where it was as far as lining up with the lock washer behind it. Let's get a little more just to make sure. That looks pretty good. Take a small screwdriver and bend one of those tabs in against the nut. Should prevent that nut from backing off. I'm gonna clean that little bit of gasket off. We'll spray that down with some brake clean, get that all cleaned up, put some RBT on it, and get this plate and bearing put on the end. So I think this bike was probably setting because the clutch went bad on it. Somebody tore into it, found out the clutch was bad, and parked it. Just my thought, my theory on it. Boy, this is a real complete and total nightmare of a piece to try and put on here all at once. I'm not even really sure how I got it all out of here without having it fall apart in disarray in the wrong order. All right, guys, new plan. We're setting her up on her side so that all this doesn't fall apart. Okay, guys, now that we have it up on its side, this piece isn't wanting to fall down all the time. So we can add our spring and this little guy. There's a moon-shaped crescent cut out that points downwards towards that arm. Otherwise it won't have room to fit in there. Great. We're gonna throw some silicone around the edge of that, and we'll throw the cover on, set it down, and put some oil in it. All right, team. Sorry, we took a little break last night, but I did get the cover on. You guys didn't miss anything. I put some bolts around it, and I put a quart of oil in it. I fired it up. It does go into gear. It does move. I didn't really test it much. The pipe is just kind of like sitting on there. And the reason for that is it is insanely quiet, and we need to make it louder. So we're going to cut this off. We're going to mount up an old CT50 silencer on it, which breathes way better. And then we will actually be able to take it off for a test ride. So stay tuned. All right, guys, that is going to be a wrap on the clutch replacement on the 125M. This will be a very similar process for 70s, 90s, 110s, including the SL70s, the Honda CT50, CT90s, whatever. If it's got a Honda automatic clutch in it, especially from back in the day, that's probably going to be pretty similar to the way to do it. I'm going to put the exploded views up there so you guys can see how the parts go instead of doing trial and error like I had to. I'm going to post up my mistakes. You guys can learn from my mistakes. Maybe it'll save you some time. Subscribe to the channel, guys. We're going to throw some hillbilly exhaust on this thing. As you can tell in that last clip, it was pretty loud. I just cut the muffler off it. But I got a CR250 silencer that I'm going to mod up and put on it. It's free laying in a parts box. So that's what's going on in the old Hooligan Honda. We got some repairs coming up for a couple 250R four-wheelers. You can hear my kiddo's JR50 running in the background, but we also have a Cobra 50 that he got for Christmas this year that needs a fresh top end. We will get that going too. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like it, drop comments. It'll fix your algorithm. It'll fix our algorithm. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next time. Have a great day, guys.